Hey guys, so it's Tanisha Renee and it's happy hour at the Wisdom Well. The bar is open. 2 shot minimum. First of all, let me drive safe, right? And disclaimer, you might hear me do a little throat clearing. It's my allergies, so don't worry about it, just come on in. If you feel more comfortable with your mask on, do what you gotta do, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so about 2 weeks ago, I was leaving church. Shout out to Rescue City Church, 77 Prospect Street, Paterson, New Jersey. Shout out to Pastor Brown, that's my pastor. He's pretty dope. Anyhow, I was leaving church and I was taking my nephew home. And so I'm going on my way. Mind you, I know the way to get him to his house. So I'm on my way, and I passed the exit. And I had to go down the road a little bit because there wasn't an immediate exit right after. And then I had to make a U-turn, come all the way back around, and then get him home. So something that would have taken about 7 minutes took about 15, 20, because then I had to deal with other people on the road while I found the next exit. So fast forward about a week, the week after that, I'm leaving church again, taking my nephew home, and on my way, and I look up, see the exit, and I look over to my nephew and I say, not again, not this time. So I get off on the exit, I get him home in the 7 minutes, thank you very much, and then he was able to go on his way and I was able to go on my way. What does that have to do with anything, especially the 2 shot minimum? Let me explain. So it pretty much goes like this. At minimum, you will come around a way, a circumstance, a happening, a lesson, whichever you want to call it, at least 2 times. The first time is always going to expose what you do not know, what you did not know, or it's going to expose what you were not paying attention to. So while I was on my way the first time, right, it's kind of like what happens to us in life. We might know what to do. We might, not be dumb out here. Don't be dumb. But sometimes we are distracted. So, like I said, I knew the way to his house. I knew where the exit was, and I knew I had to get off the exit. But I was distracted. Distracted with all kinds of other thoughts in my mind. I don't know about y'all, but like in my mind, there's like this merry-go-round with different color horses, different manes, all kinds of stuff. They're constantly dancing. I don't know why the merry-go-round in my mind never loses power, but it's always moving, and on it are thoughts, responsibilities, all kinds of stuff. And that's what happens to us in life. We can get distracted by whatever it is, by whoever it is, and we're not where we're supposed to be. We're not doing what we're supposed to do. And a lot of times when that happens, when we miss our exit, we waste time. We seemingly waste time. We'll get back to that. We seemingly waste time. We lose out on time, like I did when I had to go down the road some more to find another exit. We lose out on money often. We lose out on energy. In this case, it was the car's gas. Still cost me something. We lose out when we're not paying attention, or when we don't know. Sometimes you just don't know, and your experiences will teach you things. And so usually when we lose out, we like to rate those times in our lives as losses or failures. And I say seeming failure because God is so gracious that even though we miss the first exit, He does create a way of escape. My second exit. The thing to know is that it might take you a little time to get there, because mine was down the road a little bit. And generally, you're gonna have to come full circle back around this way again. Hence, the second shot. Now, the second shot can be the last shot, because obviously I'm not innocent or not new to drinks, but I've never been a fan of a whole bunch of shots. A whole bunch of shots is how you get messed up, twisted, peeled back, done up real fast. So we want to minimize the shots, but you will come around the way again. And my second time in this instance was the next week when I was leaving church again. And so I wasn't leaving church saying to myself, don't miss the exit, don't miss the exit, don't miss the exit. Right after the happening, right after the instance, right after the conversation, when it's fresh in our minds, when we are feeling away, right? Because sometimes it doesn't just cost us time or money or energy. It costs our emotions. And we're feeling away right after whatever exit we missed. We're generally feeling away. Everything's at the forefront of our mind. Everything's fresh. And we're all like telling the world, telling our journals, telling ourselves, oh, I ain't doing that anymore. It's not happening. I ain't never gonna do that again. It's fresh. It's fresh. It's fresh. So we're examining life, any friends, family, anything. If we see anything, if it's reminding us, if it's triggering us, because we still in our feeling away, still in our place of loss, we're like, oh, no. But most times, the test, the happening, the second shot is not coming on the heels of the first one. Because see, how God works is he allows you a little time to identify how it is or why it is that you missed your exit. Identify whether it was something that you didn't know that you have now learned, or identify if you were not focused, and then considering what were you focused on, or how or who distracted you. And so it's important, if you're going to take some loss, it's important to consider those things. And so if you consider them, you examine them, when the second shot comes around, it's imperative, it would behoove us. Look at me. I mean, those like $5, $10 words, I'm bringing them out. Don't even worry about that part. So it would be in our best interest to not just identify those things, but apply the new knowledge. Eliminate the distractions, whatever they are, whoever they are, right? Because who's got more and more stuff to lose? I mean, I didn't plan on it. I missed an exit, the same exit, a couple of times. We're here now, though, and what we're trying to do is not miss any more exits. So when I left church the next week, I wasn't saying to myself, don't miss the exit, don't miss the exit, because, like, you know, life be life for real. And there's always things coming up in our minds, always things or people or what have you. And so I had thoughts again. I did. I had thoughts again. But what happened was, when I was leaving church, the scenes started looking familiar. And it made me look up in time for my exit. That is when I said to my nephew, not this time, not again. Because that is what we call grace in life. Familiarity. When it starts to look familiar, starts to sound familiar, feel familiar. I mean, this is the one time where, you know, you might let your emotions live a little bit. Because when it starts to feel familiar, look familiar, sound familiar, that familiarity is supposed to jar your mind. It's supposed to jolt you, wake you up and say, hold on, we done been here before. We've been around this way before. And it's time to look up. Look up and see your exit sign. Whether it is to have to exit a conversation, whether it's to have a conversation, whether it's to set up a boundary. The familiarity is supposed to remind you of the fact that we have been here before. And if this place, the place that sounds the same, feels the same, looks the same, has cost you something, it is important to take the exit. Because what happens between the first shot and the second shot, a lot of times, that makes it a failure instead of a seeming failure, is if we do not identify. If we just lose out on time and don't take the time to identify how or why we missed the exit. If we do not take the time to take into consideration what we did not know that we know now. It's important information. What we generally like to do, some of us, maybe not you all, sometimes we like to look at other people, right? Because the first time I missed the exit, my nephew was in the car, and I literally said, He-Man. I mean, because that's what I call him, He-Man. And he said, actually what happened was, he said, Auntie. Soon as he said Auntie, I was like, oh my goodness. Like, He-Man, why didn't you say something? He said, I thought maybe you was going somewhere else first. We can't always depend on people to snap us out or get us back in focus when we are allowing ourselves to be distracted. Sometimes we don't even have a clue that we are distracted until we miss the exit, lose out on some things, and we got to come full circle around. But don't beat yourself up, right? Because the benefits, which is why it's a seeming failure, not an absolute failure, is that now we have added information. We know that we were being distracted. If we take the time wisely, we use the time wisely, we know what was distracting us or how we got distracted. What we didn't know, now we have the opportunity to apply it to our lives. Application is a must. Application is a must. Or prepare to be done up, peeled back, messed up, all that. Because you're going to have to take shot after shot after shot. Excuse me. Hello. I can hear. So, yeah. I know this has probably been about a nice glass full. Generally, shot glasses are smaller glasses. Fit about a little bit. Thank you. However, you realize that the 2 shot minimum that we want to stay within the realm of, if you will, is how many times we have to come around the same way. How many times we have to lose out on anything for the same reason. Granted, if it's a new lesson, a new information that you need to acquire, that's a different set of shots, kinda. It's a different set of shots. But for the same thing, 2 shot maximum is what we're going for, right? Because the second time we got to come around a way. The second time the scenario, the situation, the type of person, personality, relationship, all of that comes up, we want to be able to be jolted by the familiarity so that we're not just losing stuff on stuff on stuff. So yeah, that's my pour out for today. First of all, you have the opportunity to not lose as much time, as much energy by taking a sip. Sipping is slow, but make sure you drink. Because if you've been alive for any time, enough time to be able to navigate YouTube and listen to this video, I'm almost certain you've missed an exit or 2. But maybe, just maybe, because the generations have changed, right? There'd be something in the milk, something in the water. It'd just be something. They'd be different. So maybe you have not missed an exit. And if that's the case, smooth. Drink up, right? Take some inventory right now on what you're focusing on. And consider if you're doing what you need to be doing, or if you out here moving a little shaky, you might be coming upon your exit, or you might have missed it. And so, if you have not made it a habit of examining the situation, I like to say replaying the tapes. Always replay the tape of a seeming failure. There is loaded information there, so that it only has to be a seeming failure and not an absolute failure. So yeah, that's my part. And I want to just say, right, the same way there was wisdom all up and through that situation, I'm almost certain that if you sit still for a second, think for a second, replay those tapes, you will find wisdom in your situations, in the times that you've missed the exit, or whatever the exit has been, whatever the road has been in your life. And so, I don't know how many of you have been to the club, have been to the bar, but there's etiquette. There's what do they call it? Housekeeping. And so usually the DJ comes over, and there's usually a DJ. I mean, the radio in this car is like, sometimes we're transparent. We out here at the Wisdom Well. So, I don't have any music for you right now. We'll work on it. Production will work on it. But generally what happens is there's an announcement that says don't forget to tip your bartenders. And so while I am not asking for your money, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, share some of your missed exit wisdom, because I'm not just pouring out here, I'm sipping. I literally wasn't finished that cup. I'm sipping too. And so if you've got something to pour in my glass, I'd be willing to drink, you know. I'm gonna go over it. I'm gonna go over it, because, you know, Mickey's get slipped in cups all the time. Not saying that that's who you are, but yeah, tip your bartender, leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. And even though happy hour is coming to an end, you get a sip at the Well Pouring on Instagram whenever you need to, because when it comes to God, the well never runs dry. So until next time, I'll see y'all.